Hello again, friends. Welcome back. I know in my last video I was saying I hope I'll come back in the next video with good news, but we haven't even made it there yet. It is March 17th. Today is actually my ovulation day. I have recently had a pretty bad anxiety spike, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it and kind of wanted to try to work through it. And I thought that maybe showing you guys one of the ways that I do might help you. And I also figure you guys might wonder, what the heck do you do all day? Especially if you have time to do this. I quit my job last year because I was going to do school more than full time to get the medical billing and coding degree done. Well, health information technology degree done. And I have done that. I took 15 credits this semester, the spring semester 2021, and I like to work ahead. And I've pretty much completed all of my schoolwork except for a group project and then one other assignment that I'm waiting to be fixed so I can do. So I do school, and I power through it very early in the semester. And right now, I also am a Color Street independent stylist. So if you like nail polish, let me know. Drop a comment. I'd love to give you a sample. I do a lot of fun things in my group. I like to go live and do games and giveaways, and it's a lot of fun for me. I like it a lot. But it's kind of a job. It is a MLM, but I love it. It's been great. It's a lot of fun. I love being in control of exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, and at my own pace and everything. And I really, really love the product. One excellent product. Anyway, that's enough about that. So that's what I do all day. And I'm currently studying to take my certification exam. So right now, I do have a lot of free time on my hands. And that's just because I like to work ahead with school. So let's start with what happens when my anxiety peaks. And I like to say peak because to me it feels like everything all at once in a ball squeezing a peak, whereas depression would be like a low point, like a lack of emotion, a lack of vigor. I don't know what word to use, but I call when my anxiety ramps up and it gets really bad and it becomes an episode, I call that a peak. So when that happens, I get a cold squeeze, flip feeling in my stomach, where it feels like my stomach did a somersault, and then that coldness kind of seeps out into the rest of my body. And then if my anxiety is bad enough, I will start shivering. I get the feeling like I gotta go to the bathroom. My mouth gets really dry and I feel like I might vomit. My heart races. I feel completely uncomfortable no matter what position I'm in. And then mentally, I get a feeling of inadequacy. And like, I'm never going to get up from this. This is never going to go away. And logically, of course, I know it's going to, because it does. But in the moment, it feels impossible, and it's extremely intense. And I feel inadequate in that other people can do simple things. Like if somebody I know has a medical emergency or something, and I'm asked to go take them to the hospital or take them to an urgent care or something, my body shuts down big time. So you can imagine why I have anxiety around pregnancy and childbirth. But then I start getting in my head of like, other people can do this. Other people work 40 hours a week or more in an in-person job. Other people do these things. Other people get through this and they don't have any trouble. They don't have this panic response. And it really, really messes with my self-image. And it's just so intense. And my body's response, well, my mind's response is also to try to problem solve. So then I go through, okay, how do I fix this? How do I do this? And my response is to reduce and hide. So reduce would be like, okay, well, I'm just not going to get a job, or I'm just not going to work. I'm going to play with the budget. I'm going to figure out how we're going to make this work with me not getting a job, because I know I can keep the home spotless. I know I can upkeep the home. I'm good at that. And I know I can take care of a child. Those two things I know I can do. But throwing in a job on top of that is what really makes me feel so unstable and so unsure. So, my mind goes to, okay, how are we going to make this work with me not working? My husband has a wonderful job. He is an HVAC technician. He is really good at his job. And a lot of HVAC technicians make a lot of money, but he works with his family's company. That is a small company. And, small businesses can only afford to pay their people so much, right? And there are plenty of other perks of that job. It's guaranteed 40 hours a week, which not many other HVAC tech jobs can guarantee that or do guarantee that. It has benefits, which not all other HVAC jobs give you benefits. They'll give you the high pay, but they won't pay for your benefits. So I'm extremely thankful for my husband's job and extremely thankful for him. And he works so hard. But the fact of the matter is we can't exactly afford for me not to work, let alone bringing in a kid on top of that. And as we know, kids cost money. So that's just where my mind goes. My mind tries to problem solve. Okay, how do we get through this? Because I want to survive. I want to survive this. I want to figure out a way that I can do this. And so that's where my mind goes. And then my mind also, my instinct is to hide in bed. That's what I really, really want to do, is just hide. So what are some of the fixes? In my other videos, my other anxiety videos, I talk about this and I talk about all kinds of other things. But for me, apparently chewing gum helps because you're salivating. And when you are in fight or flight mode, you don't salivate because you're not relaxed and ready to eat. So gum makes you salivate. Gum helps. Breathing exercises, abso-freaking-lutely. Breathing exercises help. Mostly for me is probably mantras. And I talk a lot about that in my other videos. Some of my favorite ones are, I can do hard things. And I have to believe it. I have to believe in myself. I have help, which is true. I have a lot of help. And this will pass, which is true. I know in the moment it doesn't seem like it, and it's very hard to convince myself of that, but the fact of the matter is this is going to pass, and I have to have faith in that. Bundle up and hide. Succumb to that stomach feeling or gut feeling that I need to hide. Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes when you're overwhelmed, you just need to bundle up in your blankets and your cozy jammies and hide. Next would be to assess the options, like my natural instinct was above, is to assess the options. Okay, how do I get out of this? How do I cope with this? How am I going to change my situation in order to help this along or not be a thing, or, reduce stressors. It is okay to not go to an event. If they love you, they're going to understand. It is okay to live below your means. If my kids don't see Disneyland till they're 5 and 7, so be it. That's totally okay. If my kids aren't in dance class or in soccer, that's okay. I wasn't. I did for a little bit, but I wasn't consistently throughout school, and I still love my parents and think that I had a really good, exposure to those things. It's okay to have a tight budget, as long as you're responsible, and it is very good to have a savings, a good idea for that. And it's a good idea to make your ends meet, but it's okay to not live lavishly and have all these extras that you hoped for, because what really matters is that you are safe and you are healthy and you are happy and alive for your children. That is what matters. Ask for help. I know you're going to hear that a lot. And I know that I'm going to hear that a lot, but it's so important to ask for help. And I think that I've gotten a lot better about that. And to ask for help, to hide. If you need to hide, ask for help and hide. Do it. It's okay. And then the last thing would be for me to talk to my husband. He hears a lot of, I'm thankful that I feel that I'm good at putting my thoughts and feelings into words. And I don't know, it really, really helps to get it out. So talking to my husband really helps, especially in the moment when I can just spit it all out. And then I can hear how silly and irrational it is. And that kind of brings me back down sometimes. But it's also good, no matter how silly and irrational it is, it's still real to you. Just because it's silly and irrational doesn't mean that you're not feeling it. So there's some general anxiety things. Okay, so it turns out that my computer did not like how large that file was for the full video. So this is going to have to be 2 parts. This is part 1. Keep an eye out for part 2.